Hello everyone, this is Shining Noctiles, and tonight, or actually, not tonight this time. Actually, it's early afternoon. I couldn't sleep last night. Uh, so what I actually did is I went to the mountains, and it definitely helped tremendously to just be out there and just reconnect with nature. It's usually something I like to do whenever I need to clear my energy, as it were. And it's definitely a good experience. I just felt like I'd share some photos and experiences I've had in North Idaho, and I've had quite a bit of experiences, and I've been coming up here ever since I was a wee lad, this lifetime, ever since I was 6 years old, and it's been a good experience for the most part living here. There have been a couple of ups and downs, like there are a few far-right evangelicals here who will get in your face about Christianity at times, but other than that, most people here are pretty mellow for the most parts, and they will just mind their own business as you mind yours. Um, but there are times where you can where the community gets together and helps one another, and sometimes I try to do that whenever I see someone at the grocery store needing help, whether it's a lady trying to find some rye bread or a 90-year-old woman trying to load items on the conveyor belt to get her items scanned. And yeah, it's something that I appreciate, coming up here for the last 20 years. Is at least when I initially came here, I was always shown a wee bit of friendliness, from the North Idahoans here. And it always, left a good, impact on me. And even though it's not shared as much as it used to be, um, still do what I can to share. And, so I think it's a good thing. And I've been kind of thinking about whether or not I want to move as of late. I've been thinking about whether or not I want to move to the Washington border, Washington State, or stay here, because you know, Idaho tends to be fairly conservative, and Washington uh, is a little bit more open-minded with a couple more things, like as far as like pro-choice and LGBTQ rights. Sorry about that. Just had to turn off the alarm. Um, and yeah, and those are things that I do support, like, because I have a fair amount of friends that are transgenders, and they're all really good friends of mine, as well as some gay friends as well. Um, I would say that, as far as myself, even though I wouldn't consider myself gay or transgender necessarily, I have a fair amount of friends that I connect well with, and that meet well. So, um, and and then as far as pro-choice, there are instances already where, young children unfortunately had to get help from a doctor to get the abortion done to, save their lives. And I think it really should, really go back to really women should be respected, as far as their sovereignty in terms of, what they want to do with the seed they are bearing. But for for me personally, I feel like if I was ever in that scenario where um, I impregnated a lady, and she had the choice of an abortion, the only thing I would say is just know that if I, if you know that I will take care of this child, whether it's him or her, if you decide to bear it, and then ultimately it'd be her choice, and I think that's an important thing to respect women's sovereignty in that matter. I really do believe so, but that's what I would do if I was ever in that situation. But anywho, like I always kind of think to myself that you know, like sometimes I kind of compare North Idaho to my past life, in Donegal when it felt like just a village with mostly people that were predominantly Catholic, and I was a pagan at the time, and I still am. But I kind of think of North Idaho in that scenario sometimes because you know there are a lot of people here, or a fair amount, that tend to be very religious or far right. A little bit different than Irish Catholic per se, but still, there's a resonance there, and I always think to myself, just because a lot of people are like that, um, doesn't mean you have to be like that, and that's what I've learned, just really, just staying true to myself and just speaking up, and I think that's a very important thing to do. But without further ado, let's get into the videos. I think I've rattled on long enough, as it were, or at least did that introductory part. So I want to share a couple photos here. These are a couple photos I took, I believe, in the winter of 2 years ago, actually. So it'd be 2020. Um, this is just of Canfield Mountain, and I really have a good time going to the forest. It kind of There's the town of Coeur d'Alene there. It just really helps me reconnect with myself, reconnect with nature, and when I go there, I think about the Celtic god Cernunnos, and he's the god of life, death, and resurrection, as well as the hunter and the hunted, and the wild stag, the horned one. And I connect a lot with him when I'm in the forest. Aside from my spiritual mother Mara again. So it tends to be a spiritual experience to me, or as Borge would say, Borge Andreas Bo Hansen. He's a Norse pagan YouTuber I sometimes watch on my times, and he 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 always calls nature his church, and I'd say it's a very similar for me as well. So I think he and I are alike in that regard. Apologies I may not always if I'm not speaking as clearly as or as coherently as I may like to. I'm a wee bit tired now because I didn't get too much sleep last night, as it were. But probably should probably after I finish the stream, I probably might be able to get a wee bit. Yeah, especially being in the forest, it helps. Yeah, and yeah, I love the snow on the evergreen pine trees. It's beautiful to see indeed. And yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite photos I took because it kind of reminded me of like a little spiritual gateway, as it were, through the wintry forest, and it's really beautiful. I really do enjoy it. Yeah. Oh, and then this is I think this was in another trail actually. It's called English Point, interestingly enough. Um, but yeah, that's just a photo I took there. And then that's just another photo. This is Canfield Mountain, during the afternoon. I felt like this was a good photo to take because of the sun hitting the trees and things like that. So it's a beautiful sight to see indeed. Oh, and this is a photo of a beautiful flower I took. Photo of. Yeah, there's another gateway. So we're Oh, and I love this one. Yeah, this is further up the trail. Ah, it's definitely a beautiful photo there. And then that's I believe that's Hayden Lake, actually. Yeah, Hayden Lake. It's a pretty beautiful lake, as it were. A nice view too. Yeah, and there's the town there. There's Coeur d'Alene and Hayden, and I'm probably where I live is further out west, near the border of Washington and Idaho. Uh, there's just a couple of photos there, and I also like this one too. Yeah, yeah, you can tell I really do love nature. This is I believe a photo in autumn that I took. It's really nice. I like that. I like to go, in the seasons and really embrace it. You can see the yellow there and it's a little wee bit of red. Oh, and then this is English Point. Yeah, English Point in the autumn. Yeah, yeah, I love this one. It's another little gateway to another realm. Yeah, a lot of yellow. Beautiful color. And then this is probably in March or April with the snow melting up on the upper part of Canfield. Yeah. I think I still had my snow boots on when I was going up there. Hello, Watermelon Boy. Hope you're doing quite well. I know I haven't spoken to you in a wee while, but I hope you're doing well enough. Just kind of going through some photos I've taken, uh, when I go hiking, as it were. Then there's another beautiful photo there. Um, yeah, I love it. This is one of my favorite photos. This is really where I feel like that sometimes when I go into the forest, I feel like the fairies are dancing and singing, and even though this was the land of the first people and still is, as far as the spirits that still inhabit the forest, you know, uh, and I'm grateful I'm actually have been accepted into this land as it's kind of a refuge from Eire, or Ireland this lifetime because I felt like I needed, I needed some time to be born off the Isle. And I will eventually revisit in time, but I feel like, being here in the Americas has definitely been healing in its own merit. Even though it's had its own trials and struggles and stuff like that. At least the forest here has definitely been a place of refuge and solace indeed. So. Oh, I love this one. When I took this photo, it reminded me of a image of a heart in a way. Yeah, a wee bit at least. At least it looked like so. So, uh, oh, this is really nice too. You can see the rainbow of colors there. Yeah, I like that. Oh, this is Mineral Ridge. When my father came up here for a few days, we actually went hiking a wee bit, and he said I kicked his butt a wee bit. I wasn't trying to though. There were some benches, that were lined the trail, and I was able to help him, find some benches for him to sit on, and definitely helped. And but he did it, went through the loop like a champ, and it was beautiful indeed. Yeah, we ate Pizza Hut afterwards. And this is a green hill, up there, and it was really nice. It was. Yeah, and this is Beauty Bay, as my mom's boyfriend would call it. Really nice body of water for sure. Yeah. Then there's the radio tower up there. It looks like a tree, but it's actually a tower. Um, oh, and this is Canfield. Yeah, it's a wee bit cloudy. Yeah, so I actually one day I decided to go off the beaten path and take a trail that I usually don't take actually. I actually went had to go through a bunch of gravel road and quite steep elevation, but it was worth it for this wee waterfall that I saw. Very beautiful indeed. Yeah, it's really nice to see. Oh, and then that the same day I went back to Canfield and we had been getting a lot of rain in the spring and the water was just gushing, with joy and the plants were happy and fortunately the summer might have undid some of that with how hot it's been, but the plants have been hanging in there fortunately. So you can see the water streaming and yeah, it was a really beautiful day that day. Yeah, and then this is one of my spots that I like sitting at. It's really comforting for me. It is really comforting. And oh yeah, and I like that too. There's that, and then there's it was well cloudy day that day. Yeah, 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 and I love the flowers too. Yeah. Oh, this is one day I went during sunset. It's really beautiful. Yeah, I like the colors there. Yeah, the sunset was really nice. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, really beautiful. The presents. Yeah. Yeah, when I think of the Golden Light, I don't know why, but there's this one song, Welsh song actually. I think the Welsh song is called The Calling, and it basically talks about the Druids and when the Romans were invading and things like that. And but even despite that invasion, the Welsh, still stayed strong with the Druids, and uh, it kind of invoked like a golden light in a way, or the golden light of the sun. And when I thought about that golden light of the sun, it reminded me of that song, of the calling of the Druids, and yeah, very very special energy indeed. Yeah, indeed. Anywho, oh, these are some edible berries you can have, on the climbing up the mountain. They're called thimbleberries. And I actually had a wee couple today, and they actually taste like wild raspberries, and they're pretty good. Uh, they are. There's a photo of Hayden Lake. Yeah, and yeah, I like this photo too. It's very beautiful. I took it today actually when I was hiking during the dawn. Yeah, it's a really nice day. Yeah, had a nice. Oh yeah, and this was during last winter. We got a wee bit more snow. I was hiking in 20-degree weather, as it were. I think it was like negative 6.67 degrees Celsius for those who use Celsius instead of Fahrenheit. And yeah, I got a wee bit of frost nip when I went up there. Was weren't using a worn out pair of socks, so after I got that frost snip, I decided to wise up a wee bit, and I got a couple of wool socks, and ever since then it's been just fine. But yeah, it's a really nice day, hiking up there, and yeah, very beautiful, really nice. And this is probably around February or March, with the snow melt. But yeah, that's it, guys. Hope you all enjoyed the video, as it were, or the showering. I hope you have a good rest of the day or evening or whatever time frame you guys are on, and